I am Savvy Mike, and this is I Am Savvy Mike TV. And while I know everything that's been going on with Stephen A. Smith and Representative Jasmine Crockett, we did talk about his apology to her. I put myself on a bit of at least a content reaction probation. I wanted to stay focused on the music, but now I feel like I found the balance in it all, and I've found a lane in what I'm doing with these music reactions, and we can start bringing back the content and podcast reactions into it all as well. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you, it's gonna be what I want to talk about, and 9 times out of 10, it's just gonna be that. This is just gonna work. So while I'll look to do more reaction to content and things that's going on in hip hop media and whatnot, and what the pundits are saying, and whether they're beefing, crashing out on each other, back to, because Charleston White went crazy, I just stopped. I said, but back to reacting to Charleston White. Some of the favorite people that I like reacting to, that I find polarizing and interesting enough to debate and talk about, and that's who Stephen A. Smith has been and always will be, to be honest. And this is my Libra brother at the end of the day. And honestly, in my opinion, I do feel like a lot of the hate he's getting is a bit unwarranted, in my opinion. Don't kill me. I love black women, and I love Representative Jasmine Crockett. I highly, very much so, disagree with everything he had to say in that initial rant about her. And to give him credit and grace, at some point he came to a realization that saying what he said, all that does is weaponize, other people. I don't want to say the other side. I hate sides and shit. Other people to use what you're saying against her in their rhetoric and bash her even more. So he came to grips with that. And like, I'm a forgiving man to a fault. To a fault. I forgave Neon. They killed me for that. I forgive Stephen A. Smith. They probably about to kill me for that. It's okay. It is what it is. But regardless of it, at the end of the day, everybody attacking him, I don't get. Carrie Champion, a person who worked with him, she attacked him. She came for him for what he had to say against Representative Jasmine Crockett. The Native Land Pod with Angela Rye and them, they came for him. A lot of people came for him. Everybody was upset. And like I said, I understand being upset. But at the end of the day, Stephen A. Smith is a man with a huge platform. And if he's extended invitation to these people's, even being as polarizing as he's been, but he's still like opening the door for people like Representative Jasmine Crockett to come sit with him, AOC, all these people, and they're denying it and telling him no, while I'm listening to this shit, and he has everybody from the right, everybody. Mike Johnson was on there, like all the big names too. So it's kind of like, if he's opening up his platform for everyone to come speak, why aren't you taking that opportunity? I get you might not vibe with how he feels about the certain things that are going on, but like at the end of the day, go up there and debate him. He is a debate guy. And I think that's the problem. That everybody wants to be so in their box that they don't want to have discussions anymore. Like they don't want to talk anymore. If you say something against a certain person, all of a sudden you're part of the problem. And it's like, no, I'm not even trying to go there with it. I'm just asking questions that I want answers to. And if I can get those answers to them and we can have a discussion to them, then I'll come back around and do what I did and apologize. Like I said, he was wrong. I wouldn't have said anything he said about Representative Jasmine Crockett in that initial rant. But at the end of the day, he realized the error of his ways. But there's been a whole bunch of fallout from this. People going back and forth. They were going back and forth over the shutdown. Charlemagne and Roland Martin were going at it. It's just everybody in every political sphere are arguing with each other at the moment. MAGA. They mad at Tucker Carlson for platforming a neo-Nazi like Nick Fuentes. Trump just called Marjorie Taylor Greene Marjorie Traitor Greene. Like, it's everybody's fighting. And it makes you wonder, why do I pick a side in the first place? Ponder on that. And while you ponder on that, let's listen to Stephen A. Smith's response to Jemele Hill defense of Cari Champion, because Jemele Hill caught wind of everything him and Cari Champion not necessarily going back and forth. He just responded to her going off on him about Representative Jasmine Crockett, but Jemele Hill wanted to throw her hat into the ring. So we have Stephen A. responding to that, and I think he plays the clip of what Jemele Hill has to say in this. I don't know. I didn't pull up the actual one, so let me go through that, because I already know, buddy. Yeah. Just do it myself.
Straight Shooter with Stephen A.
Some for clicks, generate revenue. I'm not accusing Jemele Hill of that. I respect her too much. But that don't make her right with what she has now decided to open her mouth and say. So before I address Jemele Hill, let me show you what she now entered the proceedings to add to the mix. Take it away.
I have always credited Stephen A. Smith with the fact that when I was a columnist in Orlando and Stephen A. had a show called Quite Frankly on ESPN, he had a segment on his show called The Back Page, which he purposely and intentionally made as a space for Black columnists. So I was on it, Rob Parker was on it, a lot of people were on it who were Black opinion makers, opinionists during that time. And it is very true that being able to be on Quite Frankly and to be, sort of seen nationally was definitely something that helped me in my career. Make no mistake about it. And I'm not trying to discredit anything that you have done for me. But you saying that you helped Cari get to First Take, I know that unequivocally not to be true. And I'm going to just say it what it is. Do I think that you put in a good word here and there for Cari? I'm not saying that you didn't. But you made it seem like you scouted her at the Tennis Channel. You brought her over to ESPN, and that's how she got First Take. And I can tell you 1,000%, the man that did that, his name is Jerry Madeline. You and I both know him. Jerry Madeline was somebody whose job at ESPN was to scout talent. He was the one who scouted Cari from the Tennis Channel, if I'm not mistaken. And for Cari to get that job was miraculous in a lot of ways. It spoke to how well her audition went. I knew, based off my own conversations with Skip, that Cari wasn't his first choice. So you were completely telling the truth of that. But you didn't know Cari from a can of paint. So to then suddenly reframe this story like you're the reason that Cari Champion wound up on First Take, bro, I got nothing against you, but I'm just calling bullshit on that. I'm gonna just say it what it is.
What I love is how former people from ESPN want to always act like they're the paragons of truth and virtue and that they're telling the truth and the rest of us are lost, even those of us who are still in the damn building, like we don't know. Calling bullshit, and I'm going to keep myself PC.
Yeah, she said you was a liar, Stephen A.
Okay, be nice. Because before I say anything, I want everybody out there to know I respect the hell out of Jemele Hill. I respect her work. I respect the professionalism that she displayed throughout her years in this industry, and by the way, that she continues to display for the most part. I am not insulted remotely by any perspective that she has over this whole thing. She is entitled to her opinion. She's earned it. I have never, nor would I ever, disrespect Jemele Hill. But that doesn't mean that you get to create your own facts. You can call it bullshit all you want to. Respectfully, the one that's spewing bullshit is you. You know for a fact that that did not happen with Cari? Well, how would you know? I thought you were going from First Take. I thought you didn't know Cari when she first arrived. I thought you didn't have a relationship initially, that it was something that you had cultivated. How would you know? You don't. You know what story she may have told you, but you don't know the whole story. So allow me to educate you. Number one, here's how it went down. Jerry Madeline is an executive at ESPN, was there for 27 years before departing in 2015. He is absolutely the one who recruited Cari Champion. I don't know. Did I say I recruited her? You said, quote, it made it sound like, I'm sorry, we're both journalists in this industry, not just personalities. You don't get to say it sounded like. Did I say that or not? I did not. I never said I recruited Kerry. Why would I recruit from the Tennis Channel? I never said that. That's where she was before she arrived at ESPN. I didn't know who she was. Jerry recruited her. So here's how that goes. Jerry recruited her, and then the VP for original content overseeing First Take was a gentleman by the name of Jamie Horowitz, who was over First Take, who was Skip's boss, who ultimately collaborated with Skip to bring me on board, who was made aware of Kerry Champion by Jerry Madelon, and as a result of him hearing about Kerry Champion from Jerry Madelon, met with her not once but twice. Jerry Madelon was interested in having her. Jamie Horowitz was interested in having her. And who did Jamie Horowitz come to make the decision?
Why is
You're
he
looking
smiling?
at him.
Why is he smiling?
Because Skip was running First Take, but Skip had his reservations.
My Libra brother, man.
So it was
My
not
Libra
only up
unk.
to me to decide if Kerry Champion would be on First Take, it was up to me to convince Skip because he was the ultimate say. Kerry Champion wasn't going to convince Skip. You wasn't going to convince Skip, Jemele. Jamie Horowitz couldn't convince Skip. He needed me to go to Skip, which means I first had to support Kerry Champion, and then after that, I had to convince Skip to do so.
Well,
That's what I said, encapsulating it by saying she wouldn't have been at First Take if it were not for me. See how that makes sense? Yeah. By the way, in case you want to say it's bullshit again, and I'm not cussing, I'm just quoting you. I have a quote here. It's Jerry Madelon.
the man she mentioned?
Thank you again for the call. If it helps you with your commentary, please be clear. My role with Kerry Champion was similar to that with Stuart Scott. I found him and counseled him, but I was not his day-to-day person. Dre Madelon.
Whole thread.
You have his number, Jemele. Call him. See, we talk. This is me. I have names. I have numbers. You need his number? I know you got it, but if you need it, I'll text it to you. Jerry Madelon discovered Kerry, recruited her, sent her to Jamie. Do you need me to tell you where Jamie and Kerry met? In Queens? U.S. Open? You need me to tell you that? Do you need me to tell you the date and the time? Jamie Horowitz came to me to say to me, how you feel? Do you feel this way? Do you support her? I need your help with Skip. Sure? Just checking. Since you said it was bullshit. Those are facts. Oh, by the way, how could I possibly forget? Let me not stop it, Jerry Madelon. I also got off the phone with Jamie Horowitz 2 hours ago. And I said to Jamie Horowitz, the former VP for original content for ESPN, who now runs Omaha Production, who, by the way, lives in California and is more than happy to take your call to reconfirm what I said. I said to him everything that I just said to you, and I said, am I telling the truth or am I lying about anything? He said, you are 100% factually correct. Now, who do you think the audience is going to believe? You who said, it sounded like you said, Stephen, or Stephen who says, Jerry Madelon, Jamie Horowitz, names, times, dates.
Unfortunately, one came with receipts and one didn't. So I guess we have to believe Stephen A. Smith here. A whole text thread with Buddy that she had mentioned, who can confirm that while he might have recruited her, he didn't have any help in bringing her on to First Take. And I believe that's what Stephen A. is saying. That's what I said. I didn't never say I got her off the Tennis Channel. I said she came from the Tennis Channel to ESPN, and I gave her a job on my show. I think that is what he said at the end of the day. So I'm going to give Stephen A. Smith some grace here, since he has all the receipts in the fucking world. One thing I learned as well, don't call Stephen A. Smith a liar. The nigga will go call everybody and be like, this person's calling me a liar. Let him know. Hey, man, that's my Libra unk for you. I'm not going to lie. If my name was being dragged through the mud, I might get that petty too. I'm just saying, it is what it is, though. Either way, let me know what you think in the comments below about everything that's going on with the Stephen A. Smith controversy and drama, the fallout that's happening from it. Let me know. As always, I am Savvy Mike, and this is I Am Savvy Mike TV. Peace.